Hello and welcome to our olive grove, which has got a bloody great big tangerine tree in the middle of it. And this is the location of today's project. It's a nice simple one, and I thought it would be good to throw into the mix because sometimes we do these really big projects like 3-week-long chicken coop builds or 3-month-long trench digging for French drains and stuff like that. But this is a nice simple project. It's something that could be done by anyone, anywhere, as long as you've got access to some fruit and some booze, because today we're going to make some homemade liqueurs out of the peel from this tree.
Good morning, my love.
Morning.
Can you explain this huge pile of branches and leaves?
So we've been doing a little bit of hair cutting of our trees, and when we give the haircut, we then process all the leaves to make mulch.
Fantastic.
Not a very good explanation, but there you go. Too early in the morning.
So as part of this process of processing all of our citrus trees, all of the stuff behind me is prunings from the various types of orange, mandarin, tangerine, tangelo, all of that kind of stuff. And this tree here we've left for a while just because we haven't gotten around to it. There's a lot of fruit on this tree and they're kind of past their best, unfortunately. They've hit their peak and the fruits are now a little bit dry. However, one of our neighbours told us about something that they do with the tangerine tree, which is they take the peel off the fruit and they put it in a bucket with a whole load of aguardiente, and they put it in there, leave it for a year in a dark room, and then later come back and add a sugar syrup, where they kind of boil it all up with some water and some sugar to make a slightly more palatable drink, which sounds fantastic. We've done something similar with cherries, lemons, oranges, and plums, some with gin, some with vodka, some with aguardiente, and they're fantastic as a dessert drink or a small shot after a meal. So we thought we'd try out this recipe from one of our Portuguese neighbours to see how it goes.
This is all dead. There's a lot of dead.
So do you have a pruning strategy?
Yes.
Go on.
Cut off the branches. No, it's a little bit more than that. So the dead stuff first, then for the haircut, take off anything that's kind of coming down too low. So for example, this, we can't get the BCS out here, we can't get under here with a strimmer. So anything that's kind of in a downward direction. And then this tree doesn't have it so much, but any crossing branches. And then if it's still not enough, just thin it out a little bit. So take every third branch or every third, like this isn't a branch, what do you call this?
It is a branch.
Small branch.
Yeah, small branch.
Yeah, and just thin it out. It's a very sophisticated pruning technique. But yeah, so we did one tree last year to observe if it had any detrimental effects. It didn't. And so now I've continued on to do the rest of them this year. And hopefully that means we'll get less fruit next year, but they'll be bigger and better. Okay.
Just the skin.
Yeah.
There's so many left on the tree. We've got another big pile of branches there.
Never ending.
Okay, there we go. There's all of our fruit harvested, and so now we can move on to the processing of it. We aren't going to need all of this for our liqueur, but we are going to need quite a lot, and we're just using the skin. So the next step is to get peeling.
It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while, but we often do things that take a while. Things like
Is it dry? Hmm. No?
They're not too bad. We had a very strange request once, and someone asked, could we eat an orange on camera? Because I
In a
think
break.
in a
But
break.
we don't take breaks, so
Well, I'm two birds with one stone. It's quite tasty. They're actually not as far gone as I thought. They're a little bit dry because the skin comes off, like the
easy.
skin is separated from the segments. They're really tasty. I got pips in them though, so not like a normal orange. Quite a lot of pips. Very similar to a mandarin. In fact, I don't really know the difference between tangerine, mandarin, clementine, satsuma, tangelo.
they're all these easy peel
Easy peel,
segments.
yeah.
Most
Tasty.
of them have pips.
See, I'm just taking a break and eating an orange.
Suffering for your art, I see.
Yeah. No, I'm not suffering at all. It's delicious.
I would say a bit dry.
They are a bit dry.
bit dry. To my mind, the difference between this and the mandarin is slightly sweeter than this.
Well, they're a darker skin and a smaller fruit. And yeah, they tend to be more Christmas time. I don't actually know when the best time for tangerine is. Lovely people, help me out. Let us know. When we were thinking about how to approach this project, one of the questions that we asked ourselves was, can we just like take the skin off like this and put it all in with the white stuff on, or should we get a peeler and like try and peel them? I'm glad that we've gone this route because I think a peeler would not be very easy, and I think any bitterness that we get from the white stuff is going to be counteracted by the huge volume of sugar that we're going to add later on.
Yeah, when I do the oranges though, for making orange powder or for drying them for other purposes, I do grate or peel oranges. I don't just
Yeah,
take
we
the skin
peel them
off.
and then dehydrate them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you'd struggle with these because the skins are so loosely
Yeah.
attached that peeling it would just take the entire skin off anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, peeling it with a peeler as opposed to peeling it by hand.
So we won't be able to show you the entire process of this batch in this video because we're going to basically leave this for 6 months to a year to infuse in our homebrew spirit, which is actually made by one of our other neighbours
It was gifted to us.
and was it was a gift. But we've got some other versions of this on the go, not with tangerine, but with
Orange.
we've got an orange, we've got a
Yeah.
lemon, and we've got plum as well. The plums were also a gift from the same neighbour last year. We will show you the whole process, but
But just not with,
not
this
with the
batch.
tangerines. And if you're the kind of person who likes written instructions, there will be a recipe inside of our members club for those who are members or would like to become members. But if you want to hang out with us and do...
Be surrounded by other makers, doers and growers.
Yes, that, exactly. But we do live streams, we do a Zoom hangout once a month. There's all sorts of people doing all sorts of cool creative things all around the world. And we just chatting away, sharing experiences, asking questions, talking about stuff that works, stuff that maybe doesn't work so well, learning from all of our mistakes and stuff like that. Anyway,
That's what that is.
that's what that's all about.
And this we're going to call, what are we going to call this?
Tangerine liqueur.
Sounds a bit functional.
Functional. Well,
I mean, it is.
that's exactly what it is.
Is it like limoncello? So
It's
we
like a
can call it
limoncello.
Tangerine-cello. Tangercello.
That sounds crap.
Come up with some funny name.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Smart name.
Or maybe you can help me.
I mean, what's the name in Portuguese? Did you get told that? Did she tell you? Maybe, do they have a name?
Liqueur de tangerine. Oh, it's much easier like this.
You hurt the wrist so much.
Okay, here is our booze, and to make sure that we haven't got too much peel, I'm going to put this into the bucket and then we'll just top up with whatever else we need. Ooh, very full.
You could taste that. I don't think it's going to taste very nice.
Oh, it's very, very strong.
Please don't splash my beans and make them smell like a little bit.
You just smell like tangerines.
Wow, that stinks. Wow. It's burning my nostril hair without even getting that close to it.
Wow. Oh yeah, we can get loads more in there.
Yeah.
It's quite strong. You could use this as hand sanitizer. It's going to need a lot of sugar. Okay, we've got a bucket full of peel and aguardiente. Put a couple of plates on top. These plates, interestingly, I found them by the dumpster, and I thought, well, they've got some Portuguese charm. I will rescue those, and we'll probably put them somewhere in the house as a bit of decoration. But we just put the plates on to weigh some of the peel down so it doesn't float to the top. Because this has got such a high alcohol content, I don't think we're going to have any risk of mold and bacteria and nasty stuff like that growing in there, but always good to keep anything like this submerged as much as possible so there's no risk of it oxidizing and growing stuff that we don't want it to grow. So that's about as far as we can go with this part of the tangerine project for now. We're going to put a lid on this, put it in the house in a cupboard or in a dark place, and just leave it for 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, and then we'll come back and we'll circle back to it in the future to finish it off. But as I mentioned earlier, we've got some other liqueur projects that we started many months ago. In fact, I think we'd forgotten about them, to be honest. And so we'll show you how this whole thing gets finished off with something similar but different in the shed. Right. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the kitchen shed. It's
a
compact
wonderful
but
place.
Functional. And the first thing that we need to do is to make a simple sugar syrup, which is very simple. 1 part sugar, 1 part water. And then we're going to use that to sweeten some of the steeping fruit booze combos that we've had on the shelf for some time. So we have this one, which I believe is aguardiente and lemon peel.
Or Madroño and lemon peel. I can't remember which.
Or Madroño, which is just a kind of a specific kind of aguardiente, made from the strawberry bush plant, or the Madroño plant in Portugal. And then we also have this one, which is a rather lovely looking plum vodka. So the cheapest vodka from the supermarket with, what, I don't know, 15 plums maybe chopped up, put inside. This is from plum harvest last year, which is maybe 9 to 12 months ago. So this has been steeping for a long time. I'm going this way, you're going that way. Yeah, it couldn't be more simple. This is like a smaller scale version of what we've been doing this morning. This is an old coffee jar, half full of booze, half full of peel or fruit. Leave it for some time, and then sugar syrup. Really, really good, really tasty. So use up some leftover fruit, go to the supermarket and buy some fruit that's on special offer, join a gleaning network if that's a thing where you live. It's not round here. Get on an app like Too Good To Go or Olio, or there are others.
Go to a farmer's market at the end of the day.
Go to a farmer's market at the end of the day is a great one. So yeah, loads of ways to get cheap fruit or leftover fruit or food waste fruit. I mean, ideally get some free booze from your neighbour, that's always a plus. But if not, just get the cheapest, nastiest, own brand supermarket label stuff that you can find, because you're going to add a load of sugar to it and you're not going to taste that kind of nasty, unfiltered, horrible, cheap booze.
Should have put a towel down first. I mean, I'm not that precious about our kitchen surfaces in here, but
Could you make a jam from those plums?
yes, or a compote that you, it's like any dessert, you could make a little, put it into a crumble and like it's a boozy, it's a boozy plum crumble.
That's a great idea.
Boozy jam, yeah, any of that. This is a 1 litre jar, I'm pretty sure, and that's made 500 milliliters, half a litre.
Almost a pint.
Almost a pint. Right, this goes back in the fridge for
Dessert.
making.
Can you try one?
Yes. I mean,
Need some sugar? Your face?
there's no flavour left in the fruit now.
Oh, really? It's all in the booze.
Oh, that just tastes like bad vodka. Here, you taste it. You're better with your words.
Oh, yeah. It's got a kick to it.
Right? I mean, it's really not booze o'clock yet, but...
Yeah, that's quite strong. Still got really good plum texture, actually. It's not
Yeah.
just completely mush, which is a nice surprise. Yeah, definitely needs a bit of sugar. And
It'll make
Yeah.
a good plum crumble.
I wouldn't eat too many of those before lunch. What time is it? It's like 10 o'clock. Oh, well, still, as you mean to go on, I guess.
Steady hand. Funnel would be easier.
I guess we're probably not going to eat this one.
I mean, maybe you can.
No, that's alright.
It's a nice yellow colour.
Yeah. Limoncello, right?
Yeah.
Basically, limoncello.
So, are you ready with
Yes,
your
my
syrup?
sugar syrup that you made is ready.
The recommendation for most like limoncello based recipes is you put in the same amount of sugar syrup to the amount of booze, but we find that's a bit too sweet. We've tried it with 50% of the volume of the booze and that's not enough, so we try to go somewhere in between.
So like 2/3, right? Something like that.
Just put it in and then give it a taste and see if it's about the right consistency, and then if it's not, we add a bit more. So this is vodka, not the Madroño or aguardiente. And that you can't even taste, it has vodka in it.
It's juice.
It's sweet from the sugar, but also sweet from the plum. It's really nice.
Just remember the time.
Yes, I know, it's a bit too early, isn't it? You can try that one. That
There you
one's
go.
done. I'd even say that that's a bit too much sugar for me.
That's really nice.
This one, I'm sure, is going to need a bit more sugar to mask the flavour of the aguardiente. Let's see. This one hasn't been sitting as long as the plum. The plum has been sitting a long time. This has been sitting since December or January.
Suffering for our art is what we call this. I always find it interesting that the orange and lemon ones, when you do this kind of thing, they go cloudy rather than clear, and they start clear. There's something about the way there's some kind of particle suspension or something. I'm really just killing time, so I don't have to drink this.
You might like it.
Ooh, definitely tastes boozy, but got a really nice orange tangy aftertaste. And then you can taste the aguardiente behind the scenes. Bit more sugar though, and I think that would be quite pleasant. This is lemon, so it's not got an orangey tang at all, but a lemony tang. But they're quite similar, so I was temporarily confused. I've had too much to drink today already. Oh yeah, it's got the finish isn't the best.
Finish is not. You can just smell it on the nose. It needs more.
This does not bode well for our tangerines.
It's better. Oh. I'm just gonna fill the whole bottle.
So you've got more to drink.
Wow. So that I can actually drink it. Maybe I'm not made out for this Portuguese looking.
I'm hoping that you fixed it now, because otherwise this video is a waste of time.
Yeah, that's much better. And I think that in the fridge. Try that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's much more like limoncello, and even limoncello, the Italian
harsh.
version,
Yeah.
has that. You can really taste that it's booze. The plum vodka
It's juice.
is juice. Yeah.
So it's much more dangerous.
Really dangerous. I remember the cherry one. It was
Gone.
and we wake up with the worst headaches. Yeah, that's okay. So that's it. I would say that was.
That's 2/3 sugar syrup, 1/3
Yeah.
booze.
Yeah, that's about the ratio.
Okay, cool.
For our palate, different people, different palates.
Sure.
You have to experiment.
I mean, the locals drink it neat.
Right, with their coffee.
Yeah.
And actually it goes quite well with coffee.
So, cheers. I think that is a nice way to end the video. I can definitely feel like I've had something to drink now. So it might be time for a small lie down before we go and do some gardening, I think. But there you go, a very simple way to make your own flavoured spirits at home. You just need some fruit, some kind of white spirit, although not white spirit, that would be bad, and some thyme and quite a lot of sugar, depending on the liquor that you're starting with. So get out there, go and make something, go and do something, go and grow something, and let us know what you come up with. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.